what you want, when you want it, where you want it. This is The Mesh.
This podcast is sponsored by the 2019 Foot Candle Film Festival. This year's festival will be held September 27th through the 29th in Hickory, North Carolina. Learn more by visiting footcandlefilmfestival.com.
Girl, I'm leaving you tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 15, volume 2 of Big Fan. My name is Chad East, and I'm a big fan of Banner Elk weekend excursions when the temperature only reaches 72 degrees. I'm also a big fan of someone punching Drake right in the face at a Raptors game. And finally, I'm a big fan of skipping the member guest golf tournament and hearing someone took my spot as top drunk of the tourney.
Whoa, that seemed like a mouthful right there.
That was a tongue twister.
My name is Hank Eimer, and I'm a big fan of shopping markets that give out yummy samples. Light summer ales and walking in on your 9-year-old singing Lionel Richie.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. While we're talking about Lionel Richie here, can I tell you that I have had not one, but 2 people since our last podcast tell me how much they've enjoyed it and they're new fans and they figured out how to get themselves on our podcast list. But the one request that they made is please stop Chad from singing. I'm just telling you what our fans are asking for.
Haters. And you know, the more the fans insist that I quit singing, the louder I will sing. I know it sounds funny, but I just can't stand the pain.
There's something I can't stand. Let's get through this.
That's how you start a show, baby.
I guess.
Lionel Richie, I love you. I've seen you twice in concert. And one time, I think I might have been with you, Hank.
We might have been. I don't remember.
And do you remember trying to get up out of a chair? Do you remember that story? I'm sure you do.
I do. It was a fun concert. Thank you, Lionel.
Yes, Lionel, thank you very much, very much. Well, Hank, we're coming to you. It's almost the very beginning of summer. School has got 6 days left.
5 days, I believe.
5 days left. We're wrapping up all the good stuff. EOGs, we talked about it last week. My girl's done. EOGs officially over with.
Tomorrow's my boy starting.
Okay, starting tomorrow.
Yep.
So, anyway, they said they thought it was a successful run. I found this was odd. Supposedly, in the EOG, if there's any, like a ringer on a phone goes off. Have you heard these rules?
No.
Like if a ringer on a phone goes off or someone's got a Fitbit and it goes beep, 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 any outside noise, they're supposed to stop the testing. You know, no more testing. The teachers gather and decide whether they're going to continue it or they rip up everybody's test and you got to start anew.
Oh.
Which would just be terrible, you know? So anyway, Lucy Rose says the first day of testing, 2 people get up in the middle of the test and complain of stomach aches and stuff. And so you're not supposed to leave the classroom. But anyway, the teacher was just like, yeah, go on. And everybody else continued to test. They couldn't come back in the...
Right.
Yeah, so I guess either they get a big fat F or they get it retested another time.
Right.
Yes. EOG is a serious business, brother.
I guess.
Serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. I mean, we talked about it before. Harris isn't very, concerned with it. I'm sure your girls were, like we said, were a little bit more tense. But, hey, he's going to walk in tomorrow like a champion. We're going to go to Dunkin' Donuts tomorrow.
That's perfect.
Get breakfast.
Perfect.
Right?
Yes.
Get a little bit of a chocolate donut base.
Yes.
Then go in there. Can't concentrate on all the sugar, and let's see what we can do.
What about the bedtime? Does the bedtime decrease from instead of 9, now we're going to 8:30 so we can get the 10 hours of much needed rest?
I'm back with that's too much pressure. What are we rolling with normal? If my kid is struggling, maybe we need to make some changes. But if we can keep it the way it's been, let's keep it the way it's been.
Lucy Rose actually rolled up and she was like, "It's time to go to bed." I was like, "Lucy, it's an hour. Normally you don't go to bed until 9." And she was like, It's the OG time, Dad.
Oh,
let's
gosh.
get in there. Let's go on, get to bed now.
Get in
Okay.
there. All right,
girl. Proud of
EOG it
you.
up, baby.
Proud of you. So, Hank, this particular episode, we don't have any theme or anything going on like we had the past few shows. And the last few shows, my friend, have been standout shows.
Stellar.
Unbelievable. I've had to listen to them several times just to get it all, absorb it all.
There's a lot going on.
A lot of stuff going on. It just, very entertaining. So, you know what I've got on the agenda today?
Big things.
Big things. How about this, Hank? How about this for a starter? Hank's question of the day.
All right.
Hank, have you ever ordered a hamburger over a cheeseburger?
Hamburger over cheeseburger.
First of all, have you ever really just ordered a hamburger? Because you're a foodie.
I like food.
You're a foodie. I would imagine if you're ordering a burger, it's always going to have cheese on it. Always cheese, right?
I didn't think that they did that anymore. Like did they even make burgers without smothered in cheese?
You would think not, yes.
I mean, to be completely honest, who would do that? I would look at that person and I would think less of them. So, have I ever done it? Chad, look at me. Absolutely not. I'm going in with multiple cheeses. Can we get
multiple cheeses?
Can we get 3 or 4 cheeses on there?
Get whatever you
Blue
want.
cheese, whatever. Let's do it.
Get whatever you want. What do you normally put on that cheeseburger, bro, besides the extra cheese?
Oh, bacon's got to be on there.
Every time you eat a cheeseburger, it's got bacon on it?
No. But I like ketchup, mustard, and pickles. That's what I like. I know you like just the pickle.
I love pickles. Yes. And speaking of, this is what got this on my mind today, Hank. So I was reading this in the paper today. So guess what IHOP's new twist on burgers is? This is brand spanking new. We're talking about burgers. They have 3 new burgers they bring into the mix, Hank. One's called the Big IHOP Pancake Burger. Got a garlic butter pancake steak burger and a loaded Philly pancake burger.
So these are pancakes as buns.
No, it is normal bun. I'm going to read you what the Big Daddy IHOP is, okay? This is what it's got on it. Buttermilk pancake griddled. Okay, it is pancake bun, but it's also got a pancake in the middle as well. We're talking about 3 pancakes, 2 cheddar cheese layers between 2 steak burger patties, then topped with more American cheese, custom cured hickory smoked bacon, and house-made IHOP sauce.
That's maple syrup, right?
Look at this picture. Look at that.
I don't think I can trust you in anything you say when it concerns IHOP, because weren't you the guy that maybe a year ago, you said International House of Burgers?
Read the top sentence, friend. What does it say?
Temporarily.
It was a stunt, but they did officially change their name to IHOB. IHOB.
Are you sponsored by IHOP? Because I can go and tell you that there's not very many other media bases that are. You've had
I'm
a
all
strong.
over IHOP. Yes, me and IHOP are really tight. Very
Look,
tight.
that burger right there, gross.
It's disgusting.
Okay, nobody should eat that burger. If you're going to eat a burger, eat a real burger.
Yes.
Go to a joint that like the Vortex in Atlanta. If you really want to eat a real burger,
Yeah.
Oh, please. Okay.
Yeah.
I know you don't like that.
I don't really like burgers.
No, I mean a slider's too much for you.
The sliders, I'll eat half. I'll eat half a slider.
It's hard to believe we're friends.
It really is.
It's hard to believe.
But let's just think about a Philly cheesesteak pancake burger.
Disgusting.
That's nasty.
Why don't they just like make the pancakes like red velvet or something? Like just something
coming.
completely
Sure,
disgusting.
that's coming up for Valentine's Day or some god-awful decision they make over IHOP. But anyway, that's my first question. My second question is, when you order a taco, just your standard taco, hard or soft?
Oh, come on. Nobody eats a hard taco anymore.
Okay, yes.
Nobody eats a hard taco.
Jennifer, we eat one. Eat one hard, but then, she likes to stick with the salt, but it's always one hard one.
That seems,
so odd.
that seems very odd to me.
It's very odd.
Very odd. As are these questions.
I wish I had one more to kind of tie it all together, Hank.
There is none.
But I don't have any more. We were speaking earlier about, we're movie guys, and so you've seen the Avengers, Rocket Man, the Elton John. It came out this weekend, and so did Godzilla. Mm-hmm. Yes, Godzilla. Godzilla. So as a youngster, I was a big fan of Godzilla.
I loved it.
And its other, the enemy monsters, which were like Mothra.
Mothra's
What
my
a
favorite.
great name, Mothra. Do you remember what Mothra looked like?
Oh, it looked like a huge moth.
It was not scary.
No.
It was actually funny looking.
Yeah.
But and we were talking about this earlier too. There was also Rodan, who was a pterodactyl looking thing with one head. You mentioned 3 heads. No, that's Hydra. Hydra. Okay, so Rodan. And the when I was a little boy, say I'm 7 years old, and my grandfather from Hawaii, Japan, sent over a Rodan UPS. So I opened this box. It's huge, man. So I get it open. It's made of all plastic. It was not a real fun toy to play with. It was so massive.
Spiky.
Yes, exactly. A hard plastic that would cut you till you bleed
Sure.
on your hands and your
Catch,
arms.
Jeremy.
And its mouth would barely open. So anyway, Rodan, the movie's out. Guess what? Number 1 at the box office. 45 million, I think, last week.
Right.
It sneaks by. What was the other movie that was?
Rocket Man.
Yeah, Rocket Man was 3rd. Let me find out what was 2. Aladdin. Aladdin. Was
That
2.
looks awful.
I heard it's great.
Really?
I heard it was great. Yes. So anyway,
I don't know about that.
Godzilla. What are you going to see first?
What?
Godzilla, Rocket Man, and I think there's another one.
Probably Rocket Man.
Yeah.
I'd rather go see it than Godzilla. But you know the thing that always cracked me up about Godzilla is like Godzilla was a good guy, right?
Yeah, he's supposed to be a good guy.
And he lived, let's kind of talk about this. He lived like in the mountains beside these Japanese towns, right? And all of a sudden there'd be this guy on the outskirts of town. He was maybe smoking. He was a bad dude. It was Mothra, right?
Yes.
So to prove his point that he was going to save everybody, Godzilla would kick his way through town, knocking down every building, and they'd be like, Godzilla, help! Mothra's on the other side of the county, and he'd destroy the county to beat Mothra. Yeah. Was this really a help?
Or a hindrance.
I know. Was it?
I don't know.
I don't know either, man. I think those guys didn't think it through.
Yeah.
There's no storyline with that.
Okay, I didn't know where you're going with that one, but I agree with you. Destruction before you fight Mothra, you destroy the whole town.
Destroy the whole town.
Come on.
And then when it was over, they'd be like, thank you for throwing Mothra on City Hall.
We'll see. Rodan will be here in 3 months. We'll rebuild and let's do it all over again. Right, Godzilla?
Right. You killed our president when you threw Mothra, but it's okay. We'll rebuild.
Yes.
I can't wait to see what the new one looks like.
It's going to be awesome. And the other thing, so after this one, supposedly, I'm not going to spoil it for anyone, but
Have you seen this movie?
I just read about it.
Okay.
So we will announce spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. So if you want to watch the Godzilla and don't want me to ruin it, turn off the podcast here for the next 8 seconds. But the next one, they're supposed to introduce King Kong Godzilla.
Oh, man.
King Kong Godzilla.
Yeah.
That's the next one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, okay. Good. Good. Okay.
Some of your roots coming out right there.
Yeah, Godzilla. So let's talk a little bit about the Rocket Man. So really want to see this movie. I liked the Bohemian Rhapsody about Queen. I thought it was pretty good. Some people said it was the best movie of the year. I only gave it 2 stars out of 4. That was good. I liked the music, but I really didn't love the movie. I hear Rocket Man's worse, which is hard to believe, in my opinion. So
Such a better character. Like, I mean,
think so.
Elton John has got so much history. I mean, compared to Queen, Queen had a great history and everything.
Yes.
You know, it's hard to believe, like, after you watch that movie, how successful they really were.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know their success.
Exactly.
But Elton John is twice.
At least. And so the thing is that this is, and maybe I will like it for this, I don't know, but it's supposed to be more of a Broadway kind of show. Mm-hmm. So it's like dreamy. It's not a biopic, I think you call it. It's more of a creative. So it talks about what's happening in his life, but then they start flying through the air. You know what I'm saying? Like a Broadway show.
Right.
So, and sometimes I like stuff like that. So, like, I like that movie. Hugh Jackman was the circus dude.
Oh, yeah. The greatest
showman. That was kind of Broadway-ish, you know?
Right. And see, I like the other. I like
you like the true biopics of the reality.
What was the one, the 60s? He was the writer for Rolling Stone. He was a young kid.
Yeah, Almost Famous.
Almost Famous, like that.
No, top 10 movie.
But
definitely.
like that kind of story. Or The Wonders. What was that one? That's
Oneaters.
The Oneaters, that's right.
That thing that you do.
That's right.
Yes.
Oneaters.
But when it's on, I'm not turning it.
I'm not either.
I must have seen at least portions of that movie 400 times because when it's on, I'm watching it.
The Oneaters.
The Oneaters. So anyway, hopefully we're going to give Rocket Man a chance. I'm going to go see it. I think Jennifer wants to see it this week. So we'll see it this week. In 2 weeks, I'll give a synopsis on what I thought it was or how it was, but hopefully it's better.
Do you still go to your Tuesday?
Man, I haven't been in over a year.
Oh, man.
You know what's taking its place?
Big fan?
Tennis.
Oh, tennis has. Do you go to an 11 o'clock movie?
I'd go. So what I would do on my lunch break is when I would go. So the first showing, like if it was 11:45 or 12:10, I'd go get my popcorn, my Coke. I'd sit in the theater, literally the only person in the entire theater, and go to the Big D by yourself. Big D's big, and you're the only. You look around to your left, look around to your right, up behind you. You're the only person in there. It's a scary feeling, like you're all alone.
Let's go see Godzilla together.
You want to? In Big D?
Let's go do this.
Okay.
Let's make this part of our. We need to do this as part of Big Fan.
Got it.
Okay. We need to pick a movie. We need to go see it. Then we can talk just a few minutes about it.
Perfect.
But we need to get in there, figure out what we really like in the movie.
Yes,
I want to see your reaction.
Yes.
When Godzilla throws Mothra.
I want to see what you get at the concession stand. That's what I want to see.
Are we going before lunch or after?
We'll make that our lunch. You know what I'm saying? Like, because they have nachos there, they have hot dogs.
Yeah, but
they have
like a
sushi.
chip.
They have sushi in there.
I'm going to need you to bring some sort of man purse because I'm going to need to smuggle something in.
I would definitely need to take a doggy bag from the movie theaters.
Could you imagine if the help came up and they're like, "Sir, you're going to need to put that away," and I'm half down a Jersey Mike sub. Oh, that's good.
Well, try to do the Godzilla thing.
Okay, we'll try to do that next week.
That's fabulous. So put that on the agenda. This is kind of breaking news, just coming across the wire here. So, we're getting ready to go to the beach. Everybody's vacations are getting ready to start. Did you hear about the girl on the North Carolina beach, Atlantic Beach, was attacked by a shark yesterday, and it bit off her leg, and the daddy jumped in the ocean, started beating the shark on its nose, and it finally released the poor little girl. That would have been the end of her. So the daddy saved her life, but they had to amputate her leg this morning.
Oh.
Yeah. 72 great white sightings off the coast of the Outer Banks. 72.
Great white?
Great white. When did great white start really? I know they migrate up the eastern shore, but dude, I don't remember hearing about 72 great white sightings.
They've always been there.
Yeah, maybe we're just
always been there,
paying closer attention.
Yeah, and I think that it's always been there.
So we're going to the beach in 2 weeks.
I don't love the water like that though.
Jennifer's mom specifically, because she knows that we like to go in, we bodyboard and we go deep out there. I mean, me and the girls, we go way deep. And she asked us politely, she was like, please ask Chad not to take the girls into the ocean until some of this, will stop. Because last year, Oak Island, lots of shark sightings, tons.
Yeah.
So I love their Nana, my mother-in-law, but, bro, I have to get in the ocean now. Maybe we'll just wade in and wade out. Maybe it's not a lot of swimming, but yeah, I'm going to have to get in there, Hank. And the girls are going to have to get in there too. They will. They won't not to get into the water. Do you see what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, although you didn't say it well, but I do understand what you're saying.
So what will you and Harris do? Will you dive right in there?
Well, we're not going to the beach anytime soon. Our summer trip, we're going to the Grand Canyon. And so we're going to be probably deep into the summer before we hit the beach.
Yeah.
And hopefully they've killed all these sharks. Hopefully they brought a bigger boat. So we'll wait till then. We'll see if you got any legs left.
Yeah, let's see. Will you let Harris dangle his legs over the Grand Canyon's ledge?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. They don't have any air sharks. So
not that you know of. I heard there's this bridge that's just like glass floor. Are y'all doing that?
No, I don't know what we're doing. The best thing about this trip is logistics are not my wife and I's forte, right? I love a good vacation, but it's just, getting the planning down and everything. It's just.
So you're more spontaneous, would you say?
Yeah. But, it's like you got to be in the right place at the right time, especially in these big trips. Yeah. And we're going with another family.
Okay, cool.
Right? And the wife and this other family is a meticulous planner. Meticulous. And so she has everything planned out, talks to us about it, and she's like, hey, what do you think of these ideas? Has put together an itinerary.
It's beautiful. An
itinerary that's not too tight. It's got to be kind of liberal,
sure.
Right? And we're going to flow with that.
Yes.
So we're going out there being not surprised because we know what we're doing, but, let's get out there and catch that butterfly.
I love that, man. Because that puts the pressure's off of you because you haven't chosen these events. You're just, you know what I'm saying? You're just rolling with them. So if it turns out to be terrible, like, get it on you.
No, how great would it be if I'd have been like, what were you thinking? Why would you put us in this position? This is horrible.
Yes.
I promise I won't do that.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear the stories of that trip. It should be phenomenal. But talking about, something that's been on my mind for a while over the last 3 months, and If you want to start the Twilight Zone music right now, you can. So, I've told you about the alien sightings, Hank.
Oh, gosh.
Have you heard what happened last week? Did you hear? And this isn't Chad East making this up. This was on every newscast. It was on Yahoo, Google, whatever you read your news on. Navy pilot sighting. He's 25,000 miles in the air over the panhandle of Florida.
Okay.
Right.
Seems pretty
normal.
serious now.
Seems normal. Let's say it's 6 o'clock p.m. His co-pilot says, "Hey, Maverick, look over there, the right side. Looks like some type of drone, something odd." Right. Going 700 miles an hour. Whoa, Maverick. It just increased its elevation to 30,000 feet, and they're watching it. It's all recorded, Hank. All of a sudden, it dips, goes all the way to sea level in a matter of seconds. They're like, "That's no drone. Drones can't move like that. What is that?" And the co-pilot Goose, let's just say his name is Goose. Goose is talking to Mav, and it pops back up underneath their plane. It emits no heat, no exhaust. They can't figure out what it is, and all of a sudden, just as it appeared, it vanishes. Hank, what would you call that?
I think that's a psychopath reaching to make sure that he has this small little dream alive in his mind.
It's happening, Hank.
Okay? It's happening.
They're all around us.
It's happening.
I mean, you got Navy pilots saying, "Hey, I don't know what that is." There's an object that's floating through the sky, emitting no heat, no exhaust. It went from 30,000 feet to sea level in a matter of seconds, and then back. Now it's underneath my ship. Goose, Maverick. What is it?
I've seen a video of Bigfoot running through the woods one day. Okay?
Okay.
Does that mean that Bigfoot's real?
Absolutely.
Golly.
Absolutely. Anyway, as more news develops on this story of alien sightings, Hank, I'll continue to share with you and our audience, but just remember, they're here.
Can I just go on not on a limb here? I'm going to commit to our fan base and tell them that this is not going to be the base of our show, okay? We're not going to be out in the woods one night looking for aliens or Sasquatch. This is Big Fan, okay? This is what we're going to say after Godzilla.
After we see Godzilla, we're going to get in the car and we're going to go look for some storms. We're going to go tornado hunting.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
That's what we do.
This has turned into A&E.
One of my favorite channels.
I'm sure.
One of my favorite channels.
Well, I'm sorry that if those gentlemen, if they did pop up and see something, hopefully they're okay. And
they were fine. They were just, what is going on here? We can't explain this.
Landed that $1 billion plane they were in.
I'm sure they did. All right, Hank, speaking of $1 billion, this month, 25 years ago, a little film that only cost a couple $100,000 to make, but made nearly $1 billion, the box office and the DVD sales over the last 25 years. It starred a man that you might know, he's probably the most well-known actor in the world now. He's been in films like Saving Private Ryan. He started his career in television. I can't remember the name of the show, but it was in the 70s. He's been a comedic actor, and he's kind of transitioned into an actor of drama, let's say.
Dramatic.
Is dramatic actor. He's been in the movie Big. He's been in the movie Castaway. Do you know who I'm speaking of, Hank?
It's not Wilson, so it must be Tom Hanks.
Thank you. So this year, 25 years ago, a little movie called Forrest Gump showed its face to the world, all right? I just happen to have a little Forrest Gump trivia here, Hank, that I want to share with you on its 25th anniversary.
Trivia.
So, did you know Tom Hanks wasn't the first choice for the lead role of Forrest Gump? There's 3 potential candidates that turned the job down. Would you like to guess at one of them?
Richard Gere.
No, but that's a great, great guess. One of them was John Travolta.
Oh,
Can you imagine?
He'd have been awful.
Terrible. Chevy Chase was the other.
No.
And the final was Bill Murray. All 3 were offered. All turned it down. Tom Hanks got the role and played the role perfectly.
Yeah.
Would you say?
Perfect. Yeah. I'm glad those other 3 turned him down.
Me too. You know the role that John Travolta turned it down for, because that same summer,
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction.
Even better for him.
You know? Absolutely. So, I mean, great career choice by both men. It kind of really set Tom Hanks on his way to superstardom. He was already a star, but I mean, think of the movies that after Forrest Gump that popped up dramatic roles like Castaway and other things that he's been in, Philadelphia. So, I mean, anyway, it kind of paved his way.
I think Philadelphia was before.
It might have been. Would you look it up? All right, how about this? What soft drink does he drink? You know, and he says, I drank 12 Dr. Peppers.
Dr. Pepper, right.
So before that scene, well, right after that scene, it shows him, you know, this is when he decides he wants to start running across the country, and he runs. He just keeps running and running. Because, you know, you remember the scene. He's got his Nikes on.
Yep.
So it shows all these pictures, this footage, like on him on Sporting Life or Running Life magazine and Time. In every picture, there's one thing that's common in all the pictures. And even at the beginning of the movie, he showed a couple pictures of him. His eyes are always closed. And so the reason Tom Hanks said he always closed his eyes in those pictures is because, you know, Forrest Gump was kind of a slower type of fellow. Mm-hmm. So when someone said, you know, they say smile when you're supposed to get your picture made, his brain in Tom Hanks' head, when he's thinking of Forrest Gump, couldn't comprehend to smile. His thing, he'd close his eyes. Interesting. Huh?
Interesting.
Very interesting. How about this, Hank? Jenny, the main character. Robin Wright. Who are the three actresses that turned down the role of Jenny?
Uma Thurman.
Great guess, because she was in Pulp Fiction as well. I like where you're going there. No, Jodie Foster,
okay.
Nicole Kidman, Demi Moore. Robin Wright, perfect Jenny.
She was.
Yes.
Hot.
Beautiful. Do you remember the scene at the beginning when she is playing the guitar?
Oh, yeah.
Naked?
How many?
Yes.
That one? Yeah.
She had the flu. They shot for 24 hours, and she had to stay in costume, which is just a guitar.
Right.
24 hours shooting that scene. She had the flu at the same time.
I would have said, I got to take a break.
Got to get out of here. Little Forrest, the Little Forrest after Jenny dies.
Yep.
Who is that actor? Haley Joel Osment of The Sixth Sense.
No, it isn't.
That is him, Little Forrest. Little Forrest? That's him. Look it up. Two more little bits of trivia on Forrest Gump. You'll love this one. The role of Bubba. Bubba was played by McKelty Williamson. Two other people were offered the role of Bubba. Ice Cube and Dave Chappelle.
Oh, my God.
And both turned the offer down, and it went to McKelty Williamson, who did a fabulous role as Bubba. Can you imagine Ice Cube as Bubba in Forrest Gump?
No.
No way.
No.
And Dave Chappelle.
Yes.
You can imagine Dave Chappelle.
No, Dave Chappelle would be ridiculous.
Oh
when you were saying Haley Joel Osment, yeah, you're talking about the son of him.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying when he was younger.
No.
Yes.
Little Forrest, Jenny, and
Jenny and
Forrest's
son. Right.
Forrest,
Yes. I thought you were saying when Forrest was little.
Yeah.
The one that when the principal would come out, your mama still does love your schooling, boy, and he's like,
yes.
That's a great.
It leads me to the next question. You know, little Jenny. We were just talking about Little Forrest, not Little Forrest, but little back at the beginning of the movie. Guess who that little Jenny is? And she was cute as can be. Remember, she said, "Dear God, make me a bud so I can fly far away." Remember that part? She's hiding it.
I don't remember.
That is Tom Hanks' daughter.
Is it?
Can you believe that?
No, that's crazy.
The things that I learned today on Forrest Gump trivia. And last but not least, actually, you know what? That was the last bit of Forrest Gump trivia. Have you learned something here today?
I have.
Good. What have you learned?
I learned
that you love Forrest Gump?
No, that you have a strange affinity for UFOs, and we've got to get you help one day.
Hey, man. What if I am one, Hank?
Oh,
what if
that would
I
explain
am one?
plenty.
Yes, it would.
Hello, this is Chris from the Foot Candle Film Podcast. Are you interested in promoting your business to an online audience? Your ad could be right here. Consider advertising on the Mesh Podcast Network. Head over to themesh.tv for details.
So, you know, both of you and I, we both did not attend the member guest this weekend. Can you share with me any stories that you've heard? Was it a big success? You know, obviously it wasn't as fun because we weren't there, because we've been there for a decade in a row. But what did you hear about the member guest this year? Heard they had a cool band.
I heard they had a cool band. I heard it was good weather. You know, sometimes it's like blazing hot. I mean, they had to contend with some rain, but it sounded like it was a fun time. I was in the middle of 9 million things, so I didn't get to. Usually I would have been able to touch base a little bit more than I did. I know that a couple of our friends had a really good time.
Yeah.
You know, and it was kind of like an away game for them. So they were able to have a really good time. And but outside of that, I don't know that much. How about you?
I haven't heard. I saw a picture of a golf cart upside down. That was
I saw that.
That's kind of odd. So I figured people were having a really, really good time. But while they were having their festivities at the member guests, my family, we were in Banner Elk. Now, I'm more of a beach dude than a mountain dude. We've talked about this a million times, but the mountains, perfect, especially the weekend like last weekend. So it was my mom and dad's 50th anniversary. We rented a house in Banner Elk, a half mile from downtown where we could walk. Banner Elk is just small and quaint, got a couple little bars, couple restaurants, that big park for the kids. They have an arcade now there too.
Yeah.
So anyway, ice cream shops, we had a ball. And so the cabin that my mom rented had 8 bedrooms. It was a big place. So we all had our own rooms. It had a hot tub. The kids loved that. It had pool tables, shuffleboard, and it had a poker table, Hank. And you know that I'm a big fan of poker. My brother's a bigger fan of, he's a really good poker player. And my dad.
Jeremy?
Yeah, he can.
All right.
Oh, dang, Jer. Because he listens to the podcast now. He's going to try to bust you up. But anyway, my dad professes when he was a young man, he was the best poker player in the Navy. Of course he's going to say that.
In the Navy?
In the Navy. He supposedly won my mom's engagement ring either betting poker, playing poker, or on a pool table. He was a hustler.
Right.
So anyway, the last few times we played my dad in poker, Jeremy, myself, we had busted him up for hundreds. I'm talking hundreds of dollars. Mm-hmm. And so my dad he had this thing in his mind, like,
he's on tilt.
He was like, let's get to the table, boys. Whenever he might have been practicing, getting lessons, reading books. I don't know what's going on, but he was very confident of his game. My brother-in-law, Bradley Elder, who is my sister's husband, coolest. This dude is wonderful. I haven't had a chance to really get to know him, but this weekend I did. So we sat around the poker table, played till 1 o'clock in the morning. With my dad, just awesome. We were talking, telling stories, listening to great music. My dad ends up winning. He wins a bunch of pots, so he's talking junk the next day. Anyway, rolls into a fabulous Saturday. We play golf. The kids go to Tweetsy, meet back, Banner Elk, play at the park, go to the arcade, eat ice cream, sit at the bar. Just a fabulous day had by all. Ended up at this restaurant called Stonewalls. You ever Louisiana Purchase? You know where that is? So it's right across from Louisiana Purchase. Stonewalls, really good steaks, and we just had a time.
Look at you.
Had a time. So happy anniversary, Mom and Dad. We love you.
Love you.
We love you. We love you very much.
Yeah.
How many years have your parents been married?
40. Let me think here. 46.
All right. So they creeping up on 52.
Yep. How about yours?
50.
50. Yeah,
50.
That's
the big
crazy.
5-0. It was wild. Big celebration.
That is a big celebration. You should celebrate.
Yeah. And so, you were with your son all weekend, and I noticed this huge scar on your arm.
Yes.
Do you want to tell the audience what the
This
heck
had nothing
happened?
to do with my parenting. Nothing to do with my parenting. I was, I'm a fitness guy. I like to exercise, right? Whether it's tennis or running or riding a bike or doing whatever. But like my main thing is running, right? But I have a couple of friends that love to ride their mountain bike, and I just don't get on mine as often. They like it more than I do, but I do enjoy it when I'm on it. Well, they all decide that they want to do this race at the end of summer, and it's in the mountains in Old Fort, between Marion and Asheville.
Sure.
So it's 26 miles, and as you can tell, if you're going up the mountain, it's going to be hilly, right? And so they all want to go up there and do like a preview of this ride. It's going to be hard. It's going to be ugly. It's going to, and they asked if I wanted to go. I said, yeah. And I was concerned because, I haven't been on my mountain bike in so long, but, I have I at least do cardio and stuff. So I was like, hopefully that will bring me through.
Sure.
Right. So sure enough, it's a lot of climbing, a lot of, on your bike, a long time. So it took us just at 4 hours, but 3.5 hours of riding.
Holy cow.
Okay.
Up the hill or?
Up, down, up, down, up, down. So 26 miles. So the first hour is nothing but a climb. Okay. It's nothing but a climb for a straight hour. And then you get to go down for like 15 minutes and then you go up for another hour or whatever. So it's pretty miserable. Well, we get to the end of we get to about 18 miles, got about 8 left. And we go into this place called Kitsuma Trail. Mm-hmm. And it is a ass whooper for 3 miles up, switchbacks, everything, right? You're on your bike. I was on my bike probably 50% of the time. Okay.
What do you mean? You're all pushing it?
I'm pushing it.
Wow.
It's steep. It's gnarly.
Yeah.
Then you're down for 5 miles. So we get up on top and we're going down, and it's rooty and rocks and divots, and you're just flying downhill, and it's quick turns and everything. And I got to a point where I was on this bike for 3.5 hours. I'm almost out of water. You're delirious because you're so tired. I at one point go, you better concentrate because you're going to get in trouble. Because you're flying, right? Yeah. Your hands are hurting, your back's hurting, your legs are hurting. Sure enough, I'm trying to make a move over these roots, and I end up going over this 1.5-foot drop or whatever, and I catch my front tire on these roots, and it pulls my left hand, and I fly over my handlebars, and I catch myself on my right forearm, which is gnarled up, right? Yeah. But as you're going, you land, and I was about 6 inches from a log, smashing my face into a log.
Holy cow!
And it's funny because you're sitting there and you're laying on the ground and you're breathing heavy. I rolled over and I moved my hands, my arms, my legs, just to see if anything was broken, right? I stood up, looked around, I said, anybody see that? Just to make sure I was by myself. But, it was to the point where I was like, man, I'm 42 years old. What in the heck am I doing? Yeah. What am I doing, right? So I got back on my bike, and I went down about 400 yards. One of the guys was waiting on me, and I'm covered in dirt, got blood all down my arm. I was like, get me off this bike.
Right.
So we have to go another couple of miles down. Then we have to get out on the road and ride a couple of miles to the car, and it's kind of uphill, just enough to make you mad. Oh. At the end, I just kind of threw my bike into the back of the truck and was like, get me home.
Go home.
Get me home. But, from the ride from Old Fort to Morganton, we stopped off at Moondog Pizza. You ever been there?
Of course.
Stopped off at Moondog Pizza.
I print their menus, yes.
Yeah, I had some pizza, had a couple beers, got my head a little bit right. I can tell you sleep last night was at a minimum, just because every time you turn, you'd be like, But, get a bit off a little bit more than I could chew. But the moral of the story is, got to be prepared.
Yeah.
If you're going to do anything like that, for me, you got to do a little work before. You can't just jump out there, stretch for a second, do it.
And expect, because, it's dangerous.
It's dangerous.
Are you going to, so you will race, though?
Yeah, it's late July. I've got to just get on there and do it more. I can tell you right now, if you would ask me yesterday, I would have said, heck no, I'm not doing that race.
Yeah.
But, 24 hours away, I'll put a little bit more time in.
Of course. You're not a quitter.
Let's do this.
Let's make it happen, Hank. And, our tennis league is kicking back into gear within, I don't know if it's this week or next week, so we'll have a lot of great tennis stories for our audience here. Your game, though, I noticed has been kind of slipping a little.
Over the last few weeks, it didn't slip today.
You played well today.
Didn't slip today. Yeah. It's okay. I got other stuff on my plate.
I understand. But when you go to the tennis courts, in between the fences.
Yeah.
That
hadn't been it for me lately.
It's got to be here.
I can tell you that hadn't been it for me.
I understand. You're a busy man. You got a lot of things happening.
Yep. I feel a slide going on right here. But, hey, don't worry. I'll be back. You guys play 6 days a week, so I got to contend with that.
It's 3.
Okay.
4-ish, maybe. Okay. 4-ish. But anyway, it's been an enjoyable time on the tennis courts with you and the rest of the team. And it's been an enjoyable time with the big fan audience.
It has been.
Unfortunately, we're going to have to bring it to a close. We will be back in 2 weeks to talk about all the wonderful adventures of Hank and I in the movie Godzilla. We'll give everybody our thumbs up or thumbs down of that movie, and also of Rocket Man. And I think I got a couple concerts that are upcoming. Do you know that we did stop into Bourbon Street on my birthday night, and we didn't play, but it was kind of like a little bit of a jam session. There was a dude set up outside with his guitar that was playing, and because it was my birthday, he let us kind of jump in there for a little bit. Don't really recall.
Outside on the street?
Yes, those chairs that are in the front? Yeah, they had this.
He wasn't part of the entertainment, I imagine.
I don't know, Hank. That's a good question. I think they just had the band or the live music set up outside at that little table.
So he could have been set up in front of Deluxe Printing. It wouldn't have mattered.
Or sitting on the railroad track.
Yeah, it didn't matter. It didn't matter. Okay.
But it was fun. We had a blast. And there's a couple great parties this weekend.
Yeah, I can't come.
You're kidding.
We're going to be out of town.
Son of a gun.
Yeah, I heard the Saturday one's going to be fun.
It's going to be awesome. So I'll make sure that you see some pictures and some video.
Yeah.
Are you a big fan of the Dazed and Confused
Love
movie?
it, man.
The character I'm going with.
Who is it?
I want to say his name is Pinkford.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about?
Yep.
So Yep, I'm going as him. I got to go get my little wig tonight. But, yeah, send you bunches of pics. It should be a lot of fun. So until then, my friends, we'll check you in 2 weeks. Thanks for listening to The Big Fan. Don't forget to subscribe and download. I hear the iTunes link is working now. That's what I heard this past weekend.
Ding, ding, ding.
A lot of people have been downloading. So keep it up, and we'll talk to you in 2 weeks. Peace.
You've been listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Check us out online at themesh.tv. Discover other network shows and give us feedback on what you just heard.